What is it?
Got a guy here for first-degree murder. Real nasty one, case 775-29701. He survived 2 days of Graves and Graves.
How long?
8 minutes.
I'll do it in one.
What?
Did you kill her?
No. I didn't kill her. You have my alibi.
Right.
She was murdered on North Street. I was on South Street that night.
Indeed. The murder weapon was also a blanket made in a specialty shop on North Street.
Suffocation. I was told.
Yes, but the blanket was odd. It was made from a very specific material that only one of the customers of that specialty shop ordered. You shop there also, am I correct?
The blanket was ruled out as a determining factor because too many people could have possessed the same blanket. Furthermore, there was no way of tracking reselling.
Yes, I must commend you and the Graves twins on the massive oversight that was your decision not to bother to check in with the shop owners to actually see how many people bought that specific blanket. But I, however, did not make such an oversight. The owners confirmed our suspect as the last person who bought that blanket.
I did buy a blanket from that shop, but that was weeks before the murder happened.
All right then, you're free to go. Just one more thing. The owners claimed you bought the blanket the afternoon of the murder, and that they saw you that night walking in the opposite direction of the crime scene.
I was going for a stroll. Happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, perhaps. It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything.
Perhaps it wouldn't. If they didn't have security cameras that showed you in the exact same places they claimed you were in. The deal you were offered is still on the table.
Fine. I did it.
Oh, I wish I could see your faces right now.
How did you get the security footage? We were told it was erased.
It was. But he didn't know that.
Damn it, Orion, you can't keep doing this.
Mr. Orion, get off your phone.
I'm working.
1 hour of detention. Back talk.
Oh, come on.
Want to go longer?
No.
No what?
No, ma'am.
Now give me the phone.
Fine.
You think that's funny?
I mean, it is amusing.
I agree. But I wouldn't be so quick to laugh seeing as a teenager just did what you couldn't in 1 minute. You're late.
I had detention, and the bus was late. You know, one of these things could be fixed if
I'm not giving you a parking spot. Come on, it's 5.
Well, can't you give me the Cliff Notes?
No.
We received a tip from a whistleblower about a possible embezzlement scheme at the First National Bank. Who's got that? Excellent. Now, there's been a robbery at the convenience store on 2nd Street. Who's got that? Excellent. Now, moving on. Finally, murders, women, branding.
Repeat that?
There's been a string of murders. All young women stabbed to death and subsequently branded. All their bodies were found in churches. Who's got that? Of course. Meeting adjourned.
What was his name again?
He calls himself.
Orion! I knew you'd be the one to take this case.
Naturally. It was the only interesting one.
Fair.
What do you have for us?
These are the wounds that were inflicted upon each of the women. Additionally, they each had skin from their forearms removed. And from these wounds, we're able to tell that the knives used to kill these women were barbed and made of obsidian.
Never heard of such a knife.
Yeah, they're usually used for decoration. But it gets weirder. You see, each one of these women was a heavy drug user.
That, plus where we found the bodies, it's probably likely that the murders were religiously motivated.
That's what we believe. But we can't quite tell what religion, because they each had these insignias branded on them, which we can no longer detect, so we can't run it through our database.
Sounds like this is turning into a dead end.
Not quite. I was able to find pieces of hair on one of the women, and we know they're not hers because they each have a medulla, an innermost layer of the hair shaft that not everybody has. So that means it must have come from another person.
Were you able to get DNA off of it?
Sadly, no. The hair was forcibly removed, which means that any DNA that would have been at the root was damaged. That said, it suggests that the woman was fighting back.
Nora, can we have the room?
Why?
Han and I want to plan your surprise birthday party.
Surprise!
Okay.
Whatever. We were able to uncover the mitochondrial DNA. This DNA doesn't come from us, though. It comes from our mothers.
Were you able to track down the mother?
Possibly. But we don't have any evidence connecting her to the crime, so, I mean, it could just be from a random churchgoer. But it is our best lead, and you might have to break some rules to follow it.
Now class, we can discard the final x squared term. Remember that we're assuming that the absolute value of x is less than 1.
So we can ignore these higher order values because they're so infinitesimally small. Some of these may be important, some of these won't be important, but in each of your calculations you want to make sure that you...
So you do police work at school, schoolwork at the police precinct?
When you put it like that, it sounds ridiculous.
You're a 16-year-old Sherlock Holmes. It sounds ridiculous any way you put it. So what's the deal with this guy?
Religiously motivated murder.
Any suspects?
Not yet.
Mr. Orion, since you're speaking, I'm assuming that you've solved the problem. You want to give us the answer, please?
Function of 0 is 1 and the derivative is -5/2.
That's right. Very good. Does everyone understand how he reached that conclusion? Wonderful. All right, moving on.
How did you know that? Did you steal the answer sheet?
Technically, he took it from MIT. I just traced it back to the source.
Hello?
Hello, Mrs. White. My name is Detective Orion. I'm here to talk to you about your son, Dan White. May I come in?
Can I get you something?
I'm okay, thank you.
Okay. So you said you wanted to ask me something, Mr.
All right.
Right.
What does your son do for work?
Oh, he's a priest. I guess you could say he followed in his father's footsteps.
So you could say he's very devout.
Indeed. He actually loves collecting religious artifacts. Yeah, he just got this beautiful obsidian knife. It's a little weird though. Normally he would buy the entire obsidian collection, but he didn't this time.
The knife is a part of a set.
Yeah. I believe a different priest owns the rest of it.
Do you know the name of the other priest?
I don't.
Thank you, Mrs. White. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Ah. Okay, well, let me show you the door.
You're late.
So was the bus. This wouldn't be such an issue if I actually
No. Have you made any breakthroughs?
Not yet, but I'm close.
Keep me posted. By the way, he's been asking to see you.
Why?
If I knew, I'd tell you. You should go. It's rude to ignore him.
Right. Rude to ignore the traitor and convicted felon.
Just go.
Fine. You know, after all this time, I thought you'd be honest with me. You don't care about being nice to him. You just want him to stop pestering you.
Can't it be both?
If it were, you wouldn't have lied to me.
Thank you for coming to see me. It's been too long. But I'm surprised by the timing is all. Should you be out studying for a test or something?
Don't need to study. Don't want to. What do you want, Locke?
You know, the warden is so cruel to me. He denies me even the most basic of requests.
Get to the point.
I want a TV. At least 43 inches would be nice. I want to know what is happening in the wider world beyond the confines of this cage. And I figured, since you're the one who put me here, you owe me this much, old friend.
Friend isn't exactly the word that would describe our relationship right now, and I don't owe you anything.
Why don't you go ahead and tell me about the case you're working on? And don't lie and say there is no case. We both know you're never not working. And besides, maybe I can help you.
That seems unlikely.
But unlikely things are the most fun, after all. Nobody expects them. Besides, I cannot have saved Alicia Harvey without you, and you cannot have caught half the men in this hallway without me.
Name 3.
Maximiliano Curtis, Dante Glass, Kelvin Moses. Do you get the point? Or shall I
No,
continue?
I'm done talking to you. Look at the time. I have some bad guys to catch. Goodbye, Locke. I need to know where the knife came from, down to the specific person.
Hello, Orion. It's nice to see you too.
Is that possible?
We were able to track down the seller of the obsidian knife and other collectibles like it, but we don't have the buyer yet.
Just tell me who the seller is. I'll find the buyer for you.
I can do what I can, but I don't...
Another body has been found. If they don't finish in the next 10 minutes, you're going home.
I'm not. The quicker we get this case done, the fewer who end up dead.
Don't you have a calculus test tomorrow?
Right, how can I forget? Sure, the test must come before the innocent people, right, yeah.
I didn't mean that.
These wounds are the same as the previous victims, except I found trace elements of obsidian in the
There
victim's
are more
flesh.
obsidian weapons?
Apparently so. But that's not all. I also found some blood on the victim's flesh that doesn't belong to her.
So we have the killer's DNA.
Most likely, but until I have it analyzed, it's not very useful.
I have a few ideas.
And I would love to hear them after you finish your test tomorrow.
That guy's still out there. He's still slaughtering innocent women, and you're concerned about my grade.
My priority is still catching him, but I also recognize there isn't anything that can be done at 12 in the morning. Go home, get some sleep, take your test, and then we can discuss the case.
Okay. Good night.
He gave up easily.
He probably just didn't see a point in fighting a battle he knew he would lose.
Maybe.
Good morning.
Larry Hawks, the knife collector. I should have known.
Do you know what I had to deal with today?
Nothing compared to what I had to do today, I'm sure.
I had to deal with your parents because you weren't at school. And I couldn't do anything because I didn't know anything.
I'll get them off your back. What's new?
A witness came forward and identified Dan White as the murderer. So, at least one of your leads was correct.
Really? A witness just came out of nowhere and claimed that this man, whom no one but me was interested in, was the killer. That's too convenient.
Yeah, normally I would think the same, but we had a DNA match.
We don't have all the pieces. Who's controlling Dan White while he's under custody?
The Graves twins. Don't bother them. The case is over.
Right. I don't want to prevent the adults from doing their job.
Wow, look who it is.
I'm guessing you're not here to congratulate us on catching the killer.
I want to talk to White.
No need to, kid. We got enough evidence to give him a life sentence. We got a DNA match, witness. This guy's the killer. Thought you wanted to catch him as fast as
I
possible.
want to catch the right guy as fast as possible.
What makes you think White isn't the right guy?
Something's missing.
Yeah, you missed your opportunity to solve the case.
1 minute. That's all I'm asking. You look miserable.
I am.
Lucky for you, if I'm right. You won't stay here for much longer. Do you know Larry Hawks?
Yes, he's a close friend.
He framed you.
What? No. He wouldn't do that. He's a man of God. The best version of all of us.
He's selling you down the river to save himself. If you want to, you can...
I'd rather be damned to hell than let you slander him.
All right, idiot.
Detective Orion? My name is Cleo Hastings. I need to speak with you. I heard you were investigating the murder of those women.
Yes, but apparently that case has been solved.
Then you've caught Larry Hawks.
No. What makes you think we did that?
That's what I came here to talk about. You see, my ex-girlfriend was the most recent murdered woman. She was a follower of Hawks. She would constantly speak about his greatness and his ability to save people from being damned to hell. We actually broke up over an argument about him. I thought he was suspicious and couldn't be trusted, and she just blew up, stormed out of the apartment. After we broke up, she fell on hard times. Then, one day, she left a very distressed voicemail. She asked for my help, told me that when Larry found out, he threatened her, and she was being stalked by some of his other followers.
That's when we found her body.
Yes.
This definitely links him to be an orchestrator of the murder, but I'm gonna need physical evidence. If not, a confession.
I can get you into his church tonight.
Perfect.
You know, it's pretty easy to trap you detective types. Just lay a piece of bait in front of them and they'll be there. Excellent work, my child.
Thank you, Father.
You guys are extraordinarily proud of getting yourselves caught.
It's funny you should think that. The clergy pitched in to post Dan's bail, and you're not going to make it out of here to tell anyone that he's not the one who killed you.
Well, if that's the case, can we make it quick? I don't want to waste any time.
You're going to be a great sinner to sacrifice.
I don't doubt that. Be more specific.
You're prideful, selfish, and arrogant. The devil's gotten into you, and he's manipulating you through a demon from your past.
I have several questions.
No time to elaborate, Sam. for it is time. As the hand of God, I shall smite you from the face of the earth.
Yeah, good luck with that, Hux.
I don't see the issue here. I caught the culprits and exonerated an innocent man. That should be all that matters.
You followed the killer's accomplice into their lair unknowingly.
I knew she was working with him the moment we first met. She did a shit job hiding her cult tramp stamp.
Her what?
She had a tattoo on her forearm, the same as Dan White. That's why the victims had the skin on their arms removed. They were defectors from the cult.
That doesn't change the fact that you could have died.
It's not the first time. You know, this would be so much easier if you actually trusted me.
I do trust you, but trust goes both ways.
I solve the most difficult cases and I deliver the most dangerous of men, and you criticize how I accomplish it.
Orion.
I have to go. I have that curfew you're always on me about.
Fine. But just... What did Larry Hawks say to you?
Just some religious nonsense about my greatest sin. He was oddly specific, though. It's probably nothing. Good night.
You didn't tell him Hawks visited Locke?
And for his safety, I never will.
Sorry, it's work.
Quick.
Now's not the time.
Larry Hawks is dead.
What? How?
Someone must have snuck into his holding cell. I found him with his throat slit.
Any leads?
There's no trail. It's the perfect crime.
No clues at all.
Just a note, written in blood. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. A criminal reaps what he sows. Courtesy of the killer of killers.